हेलो 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 हेलो। हाँ तो सॉरी अबाउट द ऑडियो। फतावा आलमगीरी आज अपलोड होनी थी, कल अपलोड होगी। एंड यू कैन आस्क क्वेश्चंस आइदर थ्रू व्हाट्सएप और थ्रू सुपर चैट। सो हियर वी गो। बमन खन्ना जी का सवाल है, number of bills are pending. Why didn't rule out FCRA law and I listen foreign funding through salaried employed account to India, some percentage given to salaried holders? Uh, that would be very tricky because if salaried people start getting this amount, they would be subject to the anti-corruption department probe. I don't think any salaried employee is going to risk that. Moreover, he will also be liable to higher income tax. Many of them will go into higher income tax slabs. So I have my doubts about this. Next. Pawan Khanna ji again. Why too much scared BJP government from my lord? They have full support, even though even they're scared in spite of having 303. You see, being scared or not being scared is an attribute of the mind. Okay, you may have 540 out of 540, 543 out of 543, but you might still be scared. You never know. Look at Khamar Bajwa, Pakistan Army. He was the lord and master of Pakistan, but he was very scared of the Indian army. He said, "We don't even have tanks." So it's a matter of being habitually scared. It's a habit, you know. Being scared is a habit. Sayak Baral ji, thank you, Sayak Baral. For any Indian living abroad, what do you recommend as the most effective approach to deal with in your face Islamics from Pakistan that we might unfortunately run into occasionally? Oh, offer them pork. Simple. Because if you're abroad, then that is, you say, okay, wonderful person. Here is some sausages, pork sausages. Why don't you have it and cool down? And of course, if you have the knowledge of the Sharia and Quran, which is doubtful, then you could regale them with some choicest of ayats. They might like it, you know, because they love reciting and listening to Quran. They won't even be able to retaliate. Because, but then most people are not likely to be that expert. नरेन पंगल, क्या आत्मा और परमात्मा एक ही है या अलग अलग है? गीता 2.21 में आत्मा को अव्यय कहा है, क्या अर्थ है इसका? सुपर चैट से पेमेंट की पर डिस्प्ले नहीं है। आप चिंता ना करें नरेन पंगल जी, बिल्कुल आप यही हैं। और आपका देखिए साहब, ये आत्मा और परमात्मा का अलग और एक होना जो है, ये अलग अलग संप्रदाय अलग अलग कहते हैं। देखिए, जो द्वैत मत है वो कहता है आत्मा परमात्मा अलग अलग हैं, जीवात्मा और परमात्मा अलग अलग हैं। जो विशिष्टाद्वैत मत है वो यह कहता है कि आत्मा परमात्मा का अंश है। और जो अद्वैत मत है वो ये कहता है कि आत्मा और परमात्मा एक ही है। Shurveer program. So you told her month back that you will conduct a stream or kind of intro in the last week of April. Please clarify. Or somebody from our organization will get in touch with you, Shurveer ji. Next. Sayak Boral, follow up to my earlier query. How can Indians successfully counter the views of Islamists like Maulana Tarek Masood in the real world, not just online? I mean, in the real world, how? Obviously, if you go in his congregation and start trying to refute him, you'll probably be lynched. You will not live to tell the tale. So it's safer online. And Tariq Masood's graphic descriptions are very easily countered. Of course, he is in the realm of what is called mm, dreams. And for people to counter dreams, you just simply have to wake them up, use a bit of rationality. That I thought that was easy, no? Of all the people, Tariq Masood, I think Tariq Masood is most easily countered. Chandan Pala, Om Shanti, Shraddhanjali to the Sardar of Punjab, Tarek Fatah, Om Shanti. And of course, he was not buried, he was cremated exactly as he wanted. And therefore, you could say that he actually died a Tariq Singh. Please share your favorite moment with him. I know there have been many. Oh, there have been many. How many we can count, of course. Oh, so many. I think the time that I ran into him the first time on the reception of Hotel Fern in Jaipur, when he had been invited for our first Jaipur dialogues, that was most interesting because he was there at the reception, and he was cribbing about something to the receptionist. And then I tapped him on the back, and he looked at me, and then I introduced myself, and then, well, oh, he was absolutely, his look and the way he embraced me at that time was just a great feeling. That was a great occasion. Next. Prajwal, Namaskaram, Sanjay Garu, Jai Shriman Narayana, Jai Shriman Narayana. Boy from Himalayas, how do you think this new dharna at Delhi will end? Well, since this dharna is at Delhi, I I will not be able to predict it. Had this been in Noida, then I could have predicted it very easily. But Shri Amit Shah's way of dealing with these dharnas is to do nothing. And so he will probably do nothing, and this will drag on for some time. And since it is at Jantar Mantar, it is not affecting anybody. It is only for some optics. So I think it will drag on. It will drag on. Akhil Nugahri Sridhar, Jai Shri Ram sir, your prediction on cabinet in 2024. I never indulge in cabinet predictions. I can do predictions of the elections because there the public is involved. Cabinet formation is entirely one man's discretion. How can you predict? Rekha Rao, what's with Yogendra Yadav predicting 150 seats for Congress and the worst ever poll defeat for BJP? So obviously wrong. Is he joining Congress? He- his pet name, what he used to be called by his father, it was Salim. Salim is always dreaming of Anarkali. That's what is happening here, I guess. Yoya typically predicts like this. And why he has predicted 150 and not 200? Since he has predicted 150, that means he actually favored BJP. Otherwise, he should have predicted 200. That's the way he used to predict for Aam Aadmi Party. In 2014 elections, they were winning 100 seats. according to Yoya. Aam Aadmi Party was winning 100 seats. Dev, if the criticism of Islam is considered hate speech and we are debarred from doing the same, then all the mosques should be banned from blasting provocative messages through loudspeakers 5 times a day. In any case, if that happens, it's going to be a serious blow to the freedom of speech, and the social media activists could be in serious trouble. Don't you think so? You got to be a little smart, that's all. Why don't you simply quote from them? Because if you quote an ayat of Quran and give standard meaning taken from standard tafasir or standard translations, you cannot possibly prosecute it for hate speech. All you need to do is not to append your own explanation. There is so much in there that it can easily pass off. It will rile them, but they can't do anything because you would simply be quoting. Unless they bring a legislation that no non-Muslim can quote the Quran because they are najis. Yeah, they are najis according to the Quran. But then in a secular country, at least that is something that will not pass muster. Ram Kapoor, Namaste Sanjay ji. Please tell why Sindh was not partitioned. Do you agree that Swami Yatina Singhanand Giri that Islamists will take over India? Please call Anujdar and Shakil Chaudhary again. I don't agree with Swami Yatina Singhanand Giri ji most times because his views are extreme pessimistic, and I don't agree with the extreme views anyway. That is one. And secondly, you said why Sindh was not partitioned? It was because the leaders of Sindh, people like Jairam Daulatram could have acted in the same manner as our Shama Prasad Mukherjee had acted. Shama Prasad Mukherjee had kept silent and not acted in the way that he did, then even Bengal would have not been partitioned. It was because he led a movement in Bengal that Bengal got partitioned. Similarly, Sindh would have been partitioned. People like Jairam Daulatram, other Congress leaders from there, even Acharya Kripalani had roots in Sindh. If they had campaigned the same way as Shama Prasad Mukherjee had done, even Sindh would have been partitioned. It was a failure of the Congress leadership again. Vaibhav Chauhan, will BJP have more than 400 seats in 2024? Not a chance in hell. शिव शास्त्री की एआईटी खंडन पुस्तक में जैन अवेस्टा और अथर्ववेद की समानता बताते हुए ज़ोरोस्टर वैदिक स्प्लिट अथर्ववेद के समय कहा तो दशराजन युद्ध ऋग्वेद के समय हुआ, तब ज़ोरोस्टर वैदिक स्प्लिट न हुआ। जेडी चर्चा करिए। जी, आरंभ तो दशराजन युद्ध के समय ही हो गया था, इसमें कोई संदेह नहीं है। लेकिन फाइनल स्प्लिट कब हुआ ये हम नहीं कह सकते। तो उनकी जो हाइपोथेसिस है उसमें ये तो है कि ये तो माना गया है कि जो ज़ेंद अवेस्टा है वो लेटर वैदिक एज से के समकालीन है। और अब इसमें थोड़ा बहुत ओवरलैप तो ऋग्वेद और अथर्ववेद के काल में भी संभव है, क्योंकि वेद जो हैं वो ऐसे नहीं लिखे गए हैं कि पहले ऋग्वेद फिर तो कई बार जो है वो साथ साथ भी लिखे जाते रहे हैं। तो लेटर ऋग्वेदिक सूक्ताज or mandalas would probably overlap with some of the other Vedas. So it is like this. You have to look at it in this kind of an overlapping manner than a strict sequence. Nishant Sharma, where do you see the future of Hindus in India? I see it as bright, and worldwide also bright. The world has been taken over by leftists. Yes, but whenever they take over anything, it doesn't last very long. They took over Russia also. How long did it last? They took over China also. All those communists themselves became capitalists. So the communist is out, even out of China. The communist economic theory doesn't work anymore. So they are now a dictatorship. dressed up as Communist Party. Next, please invite Pushpinder Kulshresht again. Well, he doesn't come, so what can we do? Next, Shivansh Sahi. After USA, which nation is the second most powerful according to you, Russia or China, and why? Right now, China. China, because of its economic power. Next. Kunal sir, you are genius, know everything on all topics. No, 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 no. Not really. I request you to create your subordinates. Train them like you for future, like we need for Modi ji. Well, it's a work in progress. Next. Nikhil SC rejected NJAC in 2014. Not in 2014, in 2015. How can government reintroduce it without such hurdles? Well, there are simple methodologies, but I would not like to discuss it in the open. But I have sounded out the people that you can reintroduce NJAC with certain additional features, which would take the Supreme Court out of the equation. But at that time, Congress was supporting NJAC. That's how the constitutional amendment could be passed, and it was passed unanimously. But right now, Rahul Gandhi is in a mood that he will oppose everything. Everything. Even if they say, even if BJP proposes, okay, Rahul Gandhi, we make you the prime minister. So without even listening to what they are saying, they go, no, 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 we will not agree. So the BJP will say, okay, thank you. Now we will never let you become prime minister. Okay, no, no, no. I will definitely become prime minister because you say so, that I will not become. So that's the kind of mindset that is in. Devraj, namaste sir. I find it difficult to believe you that M population in India is less than 20% now. It's not a question of believing, my dear friend. It's a fact. Why in every city we are seeing demography shift, even after so many Bangladeshi Rohingyas. So what's your basis? My basis is the empirical fact, and my basis is the fact that I have conducted census myself. It is you who has to contradict it with your data. You don't have any data. You are only, what should I say? You are fishing in the air. Census is very reliable data. Next. Why are you Modi Bhagat and hate Kejriwal? तो आपका विचार है कि मुझे केजरीवाल भगत होना चाहिए और हेट मोदी करना चाहिए? ये कृपया ये भी बता दें तो पूरा का पूरा इक्वेशन क्लियर हो जाए. नेक्स्ट. शिव सत्या. Sanjay ji, do you think wokeness will reduce in USA? Wokeness can reduce if the present democratic establishment is voted out. If they again win 2024, then wokeness is only going to increase, and that, of course, will be good because the USA as a force, I foresee in about 10 to 15 years, uh, it will it will be second-rate power. It will not be a superpower. It will just be a power. It will lose its superpower status, which will be good actually. So the wokeness should increase. Next. Ravi Shekhar, as per Indian Constitution and SC directions on hate speech FIR, is it possible to file an FIR and SC judge comments as hate speech if comment not part of judgment? No. Whatever communication the judges do within the courtroom is privileged communication, and nobody has any business even commenting on it. But that is the liberty that people have been taking, and the judges have been allowing. Reward. So, did Marathas rape and loot common Bengalis as written by Jadunath Sarkar in Bihar and Orissa during fall of Mughal Empire, page 38? That is a seriously debated subject because Marathas had a different outlook towards the ruling classes of Bengal, which were wholly Muslim. And this subject is being debated, and there are strong views both sides. So I think we need to wait and let an outcome emerge. रोबकूल पढ़ा लिखा तो क्या हुआ जैसे केजरीवाल घोटालों का अंत नहीं हरदम करे बवाल करे जाए हरदम करे बवाल कबीरा सारा रा रा राह कबीरा सारा रा 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 Shiv Satya, did non-Nehruvian historian authors enter academia? They were very much in the academia. The only thing was that they were suppressed. They were very much suppressed. सड़जी किरण पटेल कह रहे हैं सड़जी केजरी बेल केजरी बैल ओके का सुनीता महल के लिए जेल में जाएंगे क्या वाई मोडिफिकेशन ऑफ दिल्ली इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट politically. Delhi BJP is useless, that's why. एंड केजरीवाल जेल में अब देखिए सीबीआई इंक्वायरी तो ऑर्डर हो जाएगी लगता है ऐसा क्योंकि अभी एलजी ने प्रोब ऑर्डर कर दिया है प्रोब में कुछ उल्टा पुल्टा आया तो सीबीआई इंक्वायरी हो जाएगी और ये तो संभव है सीबीआई इंक्वायरी तो बिल्कुल संभव है अब सीबीआई के पास जाने के बाद इनका भाई साहब का इन्वॉल्वमेंट कितना आता है उसके ऊपर डिपेंड करेगा तो देखते हैं आगे आगे देखिए होता है क्या शिवम नमस्कार संजय गुरु जी दी ग्रेट मंक अश्विन विराथू से संपर्क कर बुलाने का प्रयास करें वो तो मेरे ख्याल से बर्मीज के अलावा कोई दूसरी भाषा भी नहीं जानते तो अब मुझे लगता नहीं वो कहीं आते भी हैं ABJ, every time we hear news, this and that happened to Hindus, some M kills, vandalizes, or government does something. When are we gonna give back? Why no retribution? देखिए साहब क्या है कि हमें एक गलत फहमी खुश फहमी कोई भी फहमी कह लें वो ये है कि साहब की सरकार हमारी है तो हम सरकार के पास पहले जाते हैं कि जब सरकार ही हमारी है तो हम क्यों अपने हाथ गंदे करें सरकार को कह देते हैं सरकार करेगी अब सरकार जो है इट डजंट डू एनीथिंग प्रॉब्लम विद सरकार एक्सेप्ट टू नोटेबल एक्सेप्शंस दैट इज योगी जी एंड हेमंत बिश्व शर्मा even BJP governments do precious little so that actually puts the Hindus in a difficult situation where they are not even able to organize self-defense groups because they think the government is there to protect them. So it's a question of double delusion. That's what is causing problems for Hindus. Otherwise, I find the seeds of resistance building up in Bengal. Didn't you see those policemen getting beaten up? They were beaten up by Hindus, not by Muslims. Shivam, please raise voice to bring Salman Rushdie to Bharat and try to connect with him. It's left versus Islamist fault line. Actually, you're terribly mistaken. If you think that Salman Rushdie is any great friend of India's, no, he isn't. He himself is a leftist. He is. He may ridicule extreme conservatism, but otherwise, even he has no love lost for India. If you read his that book, Midnight's Children, it is very, very disdainful towards Indians and India. Vipul Singh Rajput, where do you see Ek Sanatan Bharat Party, Ekam Sanatan Bharat it is, Ekam Sanatan Bharat Party in future? Uh, well, the problem is that it's very difficult to say anything unless they contest a few elections and we see the results. Though their Sapta Siddhant is welcome, but whether they would be able to translate it into electoral victories, that we can't say till they have hit the ground. They haven't yet hit the electoral ground. So they have to hit the electoral ground first. Sarthak, Guruji, till which month will we can expect your all religions are not the same book? I have completed two-thirds of it, and that is my first draft. So you can expect that it should be with the publisher in about 2 months, and the publisher should take another 2 months. Eagerly waiting for it to read as well as gift it to my sister, if possible. Ekadashi Vrata and drinking warm water regularly, as these are the best options for killing disease spreading cells in your body. That's a good thing to do. Keeping Vrata is always good. Next, suckling 10 times. But why 10? To be auspicious, it has to be either 9 or 11. Namaste, sir. Is there any possibility, a plan of Ashraf's Ghar Wapsi on Ram temple inauguration next year? No, we don't want Ashraf. Thank you. Keep them outside. They'll come and spoil whatever you have. Akshay Patil, is it shooting your foot by saying not era of war? Oh, that's a diplomatese, the diplomatic language. What is said is not necessarily what is meant. It is sometimes like Hindu scriptures. What you read literally is very often not the meaning. Gaurav Gupta, why BJP gives a walkover to AAP in Delhi elections? Or the BJP in Delhi is pathetic. They are all what is called, they are all trying to find a perch in the central government, and nobody is interested in doing the hard work on the ground. Yuri Bezmenov, no response from JD for talk of new world order. Mr. Yuri, it is very difficult to assess what you're communicating on our WhatsApp group because in the WhatsApp group communication, you are not mentioning your identity properly. We find some UV talking in the on WhatsApp, but are you UV there or you're Yuri? We don't know. So please clarify this first. Ashutosh, sir, can the BJP field Srimati Diya Kumari as CM before or after Rajasthan Assembly elections? What is so special about her? You want one royal Vasundhara gone and replaced by another royal? I think we have had enough of royals. Let there be some ordinary person as chief minister. Has the loot of royal treasury by Congress after independence rendered them defunct and too weak? I still see some public support of royals in Jaipur at least. Mahavir Singh ji, who was probably 10 times as popular as Diya Kumari, lost his elections to Girdhari Lal Bhargav. So, what popularity you're talking about? Yuri Bezunov, please respond to my WA messages. Please identify yourself clearly on the WA messages, Yuri. We don't know who is talking as Yuri over there. एच ओपिनियंस सर आपको एकम सनातन भारत दल का भविष्य कैसा दिखता है अभी कुछ नहीं कह सकते पहले उनको कोई इलेक्शन लड़ने दीजिए फिर बताएंगे बकुल दादा विच वे द लास्ट फ्यू बुत चिकन यूनिट्स इन इंडिया टीपू सुल्तान was the last one I think shivam Gurudev, please discuss Lee Kuan Yew's policy towards Abrahamic religions in a session with Sri Shankar Sharanji. He's an intellectual warrior of Dharma. Naman aap dono ko. Okay, ji, good suggestion. But actually, I have this problem that Lee Kuan Yew's policies, they were befitting a city-state. It's like if Delhi were a country, then you could probably replicate what Lee Kuan Yew was doing for Singapore. But for a country like India, that model won't apply, even if we try. Yuri Bezunov, what's your opinion on Gates' visit to Smriti Irani? I haven't formed an opinion about it because there hasn't been enough information about it. He's doing some wrangling about, some women's issues, this, that. So, not quite sure. Sarthak Guruji, still I am unable to digest Tarek ji's Swargavas. अब उसका तो क्या कर सकते हैं अव्यक्तादीनि भूतानि व्यक्तमध्यानि भारत अव्यक्तनिधनान्येव तत्र का परिदेवना सुखा भाई जो भी भूतगण भूत वो वाले भूत नहीं जो उर्दू वाले भूत नहीं है ये संस्कृत वाले बींग्स तो अव्यक्तादीनि भूतानि आरंभ में जो लिविंग बीइंग हैं वो अव्यक्त होते हैं बीच में व्यक्त हो जाते हैं फिर अव्यक्त हो जाते हैं निधन के बाद में तो उसमें क्या परिदेवना उसमें क्या शोक मनाना गुरु जी प्लीज यू राजीव जी तुफैल जी मीनाक्षी जी एटसेट्रा प्लीज टेक केयर ऑफ योर हेल्थ must watch channels like FitTuber and please try to follow if possible Ekadashi Vrata and drinking warm water regularly as these are the best options for clearing disease spreading cells in your body. Thank you. Abhishek Singh. Namaste, sir. We met in JD annual event 2022 where I told you what I have written a book on Qutub Minar. Can we discuss about it in your channel? Yes, certainly. Please inform the WhatsApp group. Yuri Bezunov, do you know why millets are advertised in India after Bill Gates' visit? So I will wait for your lack of information. Well, I am not an encyclopedia. I have never professed me to be an encyclopedia. You can ask me anything. But that doesn't mean that I will be able to answer everything. That will be assuming too much. Ask me anything. But I will answer only what I know. Divya Jyoti, sir, how can we Sanatanis start crowdfunding for Pak Hindus who lost their homes in Jodhpur in this deadly summers? If JD can raise its voice, we can make a real difference in their lives. It's high time we act and support these persecuted poor Pak Hindu families of Jodhpur. Nimittekam is doing the collection. So you can directly use the Nimittekam. You can go to the Nimittekam website and then you can use that to contribute. Sarthak Guruji, which career should I pursue? UPSC or bachelor's in AI in Germany, considering that I want to pursue YouTube career in future and want to open a channel like yours as Sanatani Dhruvrati. In which career do I get some extra time, finances, and freedom in order to pursue them? My age is 20. I think AI in Germany is definitely the better option if that is your intention in future. Because if you clear a UPSC and you become an officer in the government, then your freedom of speech will be subject to conduct of rules, and then you will not be able to do all this. Seema, how come there is no further questioning of Kejriwal by CBI? Do you think he is innocent or there is something else which we cannot see? I think CBI will take its time, you see, because Kejriwal is the big fish. Before CBI lays its hand on Kejriwal, it will have to be not just doubly sure, it will have to be 10 times sure of what it is going to do. You see, even for Sisodia, even for Sanjay Jain, they took their own time. CBI acts differently. It never arrests anybody in the first instance. It first makes sure, collects evidence, confronts the people, and only then it goes for arrest. It's not like the local police, which arrests first and asks questions later. CBI's working is different. Sarthak, Guruji, please invite Sanatana Samiksha team on your channel as they are bursting propaganda created by neo-Buddhist Indian atheist channels like Science is Dope and Pakistani ex-Muslim channels like Harris and Ghalib. They need your support and Jaipur Dialogues channel in order to amplify their message and channels reach. Okay, Ji. I will check that channel first. एबीजे तारिक फतेह जी had many threats मगर किसी एक लाल में दम नहीं था जो उनको मार सके. Many M's are feeling happy because internally they are frustrated that he was not killed. Well, then in that case, they should commit suicide because inability to do jihad actually is not liked by Allah. Allah will punish them. Regarding your previous response, I tried giving my real name and identity, but your intern is not doing a good work in responding. Okay, I'll have it checked. Please write to them today. Next. Sarthak Guruji, please invite Kushal Mehra of Charvaka Podcast YouTube channel. We would love to hear a discussion between you and him on an Indian school of thoughts, darshan, and philosophy, and try to have a similar event on this topic in JD Annual Event 2023. We have done a lot of these discussions and with eminent people. So I don't know how good is Kushal Mehra. ABJ, so you may know that actually these wrestlers are pro Modi. They had deplatformed Brinda Karat saying we don't have issue with PMO, only with the federation. I think their issue is correct, but has been hijacked by these politicians. You have to see what's the actual thing. If they can platform Satyapal Malik and Pappu Yadav, then I think Brinda Karat would have been a better person to platform than these. And now Robert Vadra, of all the people. Gosh, we're not blind. Maybe we're not deaf either. सार्थक गुरु जी, when we will be able to see तुफैल जी and नीरज जी again for दीन की दावत, क्योंकि माड बेड हो पर मन भेद ना हो, मिसिंग योर ट्रायो सो मच। देखते हैं जी, नीरज जी को तो अभी बुलाएंगे हम नीरज जी के साथ कर लेंगे। नीरज जी का ज्ञान बहुत अधिक है और जब कभी आगे मौका मिलेगा तब देखेंगे, मौके तो बनते रहते हैं। लेनिन सर, कैन यू मेक अ व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप फॉर ऑल ऑफ अस? We have got several WhatsApp groups you can join. The numbers are all given there in the description. Kalyan Ram Ganti, how do you see the future of India and Pakistan in 2026? Will India reach 5 trillion? 5 trillion will take a while. 5 trillion will reach about 2030, not 2026. Will Pakistan stay united? No, Pakistan will not stay united. That is certain. But how long it will take, that we are not in a position to say right now. I give it another 10 years. Akul Dada, what should be India's response if CPEC to rail link is planned to go via Pakistan occupied Kashmir? Well, something which is so much, I should say, $58 billion that China is going to spend building CPEC for Pakistan's benefit is a proposition I am not buying. Therefore, it's an imaginary proposition, and I do not like to give a response to an imaginary proposition. Improbable too. $58 billion China will spend on Pakistan. And they are not able to recoup the little 20 odd billion dollars which they have spent. They've already stopped their investment in CPEC. Prithviraj Sharma, is there any hidden gem for CM like Yogi ji in Rajasthan, or Centre will again bow down against Raje? Raje is out. That's my verdict. It can be anyone but Vasundhara Raje. Mahipal Singh Rathod, can S. Malik be issued for Namo in general election? Huh? Satyapal Malik. I think we did a discussion on Satyapal Malik. Why don't you go through and listen to that? He is as relevant or as irrelevant as a dodo is to India. No dodo. That extinct New Zealand bird. Yuri Bezunov, who would be your ideal candidate after Modi? If not Yogi and HBS and not Annamalai? What kind of quiz question is that? Then I would rather not have BJP. Ashutosh Pandey, with 4G Stam is crying, please express 6G effect. Oh, 6G effect is felt uh, at the bottom of the Mooladhara chakra in a certain orifice. Figure out. Next. Akshat Doshi, धन्यवाद. विभोर रस्तोगी, आप आचार्य प्रशांत के बारे में क्या सोचते हैं? क्या वो भले से ज़्यादा बुरा कर रहे हैं बाय बीइंग सो क्रिटिकल ऑफ पॉपुलर हिंदू कल्चर? क्या अध्यात्म और लोकप्रिय हिंदू साथ साथ नहीं चल सकते? ये जितने भी लोग जो हैं, जो ज्ञान मार्गी बनते हैं और कहते हैं आप ज्ञान मार्ग, उन्होंने गीता का 12वां अध्याय नहीं पढ़ा है, जिसमें भगवान यही कहते हैं, वे ज्ञान मार्ग सर्वश्रेष्ठ है लेकिन सुलभ नहीं है। क्या मतलब? कि 1% लोगों के लिए जो मार्ग है, तो उसको मानते हुए बाकी जो 99% लोगों का मार्ग है उसको नकार दिया जाए। पहले भी भगवान ने कहा है कि हाँ भाई, 4 तरह के लोग मुझे पूजते हैं। चत्वार्थे माम भजन्ते। कौन कौन है वो 4? आर्त, जिज्ञासु, अर्थार्थी, ज्ञानी च भरतर्षभ। इसमें आर्त मतलब जो दुखी हैं, पीड़ा में हैं। जिज्ञासु, जिज्ञासु मतलब जो जिज्ञासा से भरे हुए हैं, जानना चाहते हैं। और अर्थार्थी यानी जो अर्थ के लोभी हैं, ट्रांजैक्शनल वाले हैं ना, जो बिजनेस करते हैं भगवान से, वो। और ज्ञानी। इनमें ज्ञानी मुझे सबसे अधिक प्रिय है। ये 7वें अध्याय में कहते हैं भगवान। और 12वें अध्याय में जाके इसकी व्याख्या कर देते हैं, कहते हैं बात तो सही है कि ज्ञानी जो है वो सर्वश्रेष्ठ है, लेकिन सबके बस की बात नहीं है ये। इसलिए भक्त भक्ति मार्ग जो है वो बिल्कुल उचित है, सुलभ है, सुंदर है। इसलिए जो लोग इस प्रकार की बातें करते हैं, वो मुझे नहीं लगता क्यों करते हैं। मैं आचार्य प्रशांत के बारे में कुछ जानता नहीं, मैंने कभी आचार्य प्रशांत को सुना नहीं, इसलिए मैं उनके ऊपर कोई टिप्पणी करूंगा नहीं। लेकिन जो मेरी अल्प बुद्धि है वो ये है। The lumberjack. So do you think Sachin Pilot didn't join BJP due to his wife Abdullah's? What do you think of his future? Can Rajyavardhan ji be RJ CM? Uh, doesn't look like Rajyavardhan ji here right now. Uh, I don't think it was due to his wife. It was simply because he didn't have the numbers. Next, Shnej's why is Shaista Parveen hiding? Is she still running a Atiq gang? Possible. We don't know. Every day we hear about 10 theories on the media from the officers. Yuri wants to know, is it allowed to question God in the name of Dharma in our Sanatan Dharma? Yes, why not? They have always been asking questions. You look at something like Kathopanishad. Please read. Please read Kathopanishad. B. Mandav, hello Sanjay ji sir. Why highly educated Muslim girls and women wear burqa even in online education channel and advertising their suppression toolkit? That's the toolkit. Next. Wakul Dada, how much of leverage on resources and benefit China will eventually have on small countries with its debt trap, BRI, Chinese built infra, e.g., Laos? I think smaller countries are getting together and calling China's bluff, pressurizing them to reschedule the debts, pressurizing them to give concessions, because otherwise they will lose everything. And China, what will it do? They cannot possibly land their forces over there, because that will give leverage to the United States over them. So they are caught in a bind, and they have mostly lost this investment, and a large part of this investment in BRI they will have to write off. So it's been a bad deal for them. Has Justice Chandrachud become CJI because of nepotism? Well, he was elevated to the bench when he was 39 years. That's unprecedented. And that happened only and only because he was the son of the longest serving CJI till that time. And then he's derived the benefit from that. Next. Yuri wants to know, in Sanatan Dharma, what's the difference between Bhagwan, demigod, Rishi, although all are worshipped as God? I will be doing a specific program on this. The thing is that the one thing common among all, what we call samam sarveshu bhuteshu, समम सर्वेषु भूतेषु तिष्ठन्तं परमेश्वरम, परमेश्वर सभी समान रूप से सभी भूत गणों में, भाई भूत मतलब ऑल बीइंग्स, वो भूत से आप वो मौलाना वाला भूत मत समझ लीजिएगा। समम सर्वेषु भूतेषु तिष्ठन्तं परमेश्वरम विनश्यत्सु अविनश्यंतम, यानी विनाश होने वाली वस्तुओं में जो अविनाशी तत्व है, विनश्यत्सु अविनश्यंतम यह पश्यति सपश्यति, उसमें जो अविनाशी तत्व है उसको जो समझ जाता है वही समझता है, उसको जो देख लेता है वही देखता है, वही दृष्टि है। तो परमेश्वर जो है वो सभी में जो अविनाशी तत्व है वो परमेश्वर है। तो दैट मीन्स दैट इज व्हाट वी कॉल्ड ब्रह्म, कह सकते हैं उसको ब्रह्म। सत्यम ज्ञानम अनंतम ब्रह्म, ये तैतरीय उपनिषद में ब्रह्म की परिभाषा है, सत्यम ज्ञानम अनंतम ब्रह्म। तो ये ब्रह्म जो है ये फर्स्ट लेवल है। फिर उसके बाद आप इष्ट पे आते हैं। ये ब्रह्म जो है इसको बोलते हैं उपादान, यानी कॉज, दैट इज दी कॉज। फिर उसके बाद फिर वही इष्ट आते हैं जो आपको ब्रह्मा विष्णु महेश के रूप में, ये दिस इज द लेवल 2 हायरार्की। फिर आते हैं देवता। फिर वो जो देवता हैं वो कई तरह से, उनको आप भौतिक रूप से देखते हैं, उनको आप दैविक रूप से देखते हैं, और उनको आप आध्यात्मिक रूप से जब देखते हैं तो वो आपके मस्तिष्क के चेतना बिंदु हैं। लेवल 3 हो गया। लेवल 4 पे फिर ऋषि भी हैं, आप भी हैं। नेक्स्ट, RG didn't appeal in High Court when his 30 days passed, but is still not sent to jail. Is it because BJP wanted to take his advantage in Karnataka election? नहीं भाई, ऐसा थोड़े ही है। उसने तो अगले दिन ही अप्लाई कर दिया था हाई कोर्ट में, जिस दिन सेशन में उसका हुआ था, तब तक उसका सेंटेंस सस्पेंडेड था। 30 दिन का तो सस्पेंडेड ही था। सेंटेंस सस्पेंडेड था, कन्विक्शन सस्पेंडेड नहीं था। वो कन्विक्शन सस्पेंड कराना चाहता है, क्योंकि कन्विक्शन सस्पेंड हुए बिना उसकी जो मेंबरशिप है पार्लियामेंट की वो चली जाएगी। Sarthak Guruji, what are your daily learning and updation resources books? Guruji, can you please also upload every list of books on topic wise which had been read by you in order to gain same amount of knowledge that you possess? ये तो भाई डबल काम हो जाएगा, बड़ा मुश्किल है। क्योंकि मैं आपका अर्जुन बनना चाहता हूँ और इन मक्कारों के सनातन जागृति नैरेटिव बिल्डिंग से विनाश करना चाहता हूँ। एक लिस्ट तो हमने अपलोड कर रखी है, वो तो देखें पहले आप। बुक की लिस्ट अपलोड कर रखी है जयपुर डायलॉग्स की वेबसाइट पे। नेक्स्ट, पी सिंह, बीजेपी एमपी ब्रजभूषण शरण सिंह कंट्रोवर्सी पर आपका क्या विचार है, शेयर करिए सर। अरे भाई, वीडियो बना दिया पूरा इसके ऊपर, ब्रजभूषण शरण कंट्रोवर्सी पर, वो उसको आप देख सकते हैं, कल ही बनाया था। सार्थक गुरुजी, प्लीज अपलोड मोर बुक्स लिस्ट ऑन क्रिश्चियनिटी एंड मैक्स सिक्खी in Esther Ji and Puneet Ji writing any book regarding it also, when will we able to see ex-Christian and ex-Maxiki movement just like ex-Muslim movement? Guruji, many Bollywood actors are crypto-Christians. Christianity is sweet and subtle poison. I agree with you. I agree with you, definitely. But that is happening. I mean, Esther Ji is ex-Christian movement. She herself is heading that ex-Christian movement. Next, Bharat Ved Prakash, please do a show about future impact of AI on Dharma. Good topic, good topic. Let's think about it. Next. Razor, so you need to have this guy from US, Adam Green, on your channel. It will literally blow Indian audience mind. Christianity was a plot to subvert Roman Empire from within. and Islam was applied to take over pagan Middle East. We live in Judeo matrix. This line we have explored already, but since you suggest, I will check out this guy. संकेत जोशी देश में बढ़ते हुए जातिवाद, भीमवाद, ब्राह्मणों के प्रति बढ़ते हुए वैमनस्य को मद्देनजर रखते हुए कुछ वर्षों पश्चात आप भारतीय समाज को कहाँ देखते हैं? भारतीय समाज कहीं नहीं जाने वाला, यहीं रहेगा। यदि आप भूल गए हैं तो आप जरा भूल क्या गए हैं, हो सकता है मैं आपकी आयु नहीं जानता, लेकिन यदि आपने कांशीराम का राइज देखा होता तो आज जो आप देख रहे हैं वो उसके सामने कुछ भी नहीं है। और क्या हुआ उस कांशीराम के राइज को? कहाँ है मायावती आज? देख लीजिए। नेक्स्ट। कल्पेश देश 1947 में आज़ाद हुआ तो दीव, दमन, गोवा, दादरा और नगर हवेली को आज़ाद होने में 15 साल और क्यों लगे थे? हमारे नेहरू जी जो थे, चाचा जी, चीचा जी, वो नहीं चाहते थे। हालांकि सरदार पटेल चाहते थे, लेकिन वो नहीं चाहते थे। वो जो थे पश्चिम से अपने रिश्ते खराब नहीं करना चाहते थे। नेक्स्ट। My question is why BJP doesn't declassify documents of Congress wrongdoing and finish the game. What will the consequences India will face after declassification? They will face some blowback from Britain. So that I think is keeping them. Next. Who is dominating judiciary? More judges by collegium system, judicial services. Obviously, it is a system of the lawyers, by the lawyers, and for the lawyers. सर्विसेज वाले तो खाली ऐसे ही आ जाते हैं बीच बीच में। तुषार गुरुदेव प्रणाम। व्हाट इज योर व्यू अबाउट द पीपल हु स्टार्टेड वर्शिपिंग डॉक्टर अंबेडकर एज गॉड इंस्टेड ऑफ एक्चुअल गॉड्स? वैसे तो इस देश में किसी को भी आप ईश्वर के रूप में पूजा कर सकते हैं। यू कैन वर्शिप एनीवन, फ्रीडम इज देयर। I cannot say that they are doing anything wrong. You can actually worship yourself. Next. Shrikant sir, what's the future of West Bengal? Will the hooliganism be forever? Will BJP ever form government in West Bengal? Thank you. See, we don't know. All these things are hidden in future. There was a time when we thought that UP was a gone case and could never be recovered. When we had these successive Mulayam Singh Mayawati governments, 15 years continuously. See where UP is today. Next. Vinay Singh, Sanjay ji, good evening. What are the chances of Nitish and Tejasvi duo denting BJP chances in 2024? Well, Nitish is very unpopular now. I don't think Nitish has much of a chance, and we are keeping a close watch on it. I think there are many things that are going to happen in Bihar before the 2024 elections. Next, Swapnil, what is your opinion on reservation? Is the current reservation for OBC, ST, SC, etc., based on any latest census data? Is there a need to revisit it? There's always a need to revisit things, and it is now it's becoming ungovernable right now. We don't know where it is going to go, but of course, it is our great judiciary which allowed this kind of a system. Recently, Ambedkarite Nitin Meshram tweeted a hateful message regarding Geneva and even tagged UN, labeling it discriminatory. How much do you think it would spread hate? On 2-3 million people saw it. I don't think any sensible person takes Nitin Meshram seriously. And those who follow Nitin Meshram will continue to follow him, whether he is rational or irrational. So it doesn't make any difference one way or the other. Dharmendra Singh, why do we have to follow an American or British education system when we have our own profound education system, which is the base of all learnings in the world? Why don't we at least do homeschooling of our kids about Vedic education? The first part, I agree with you. The second part, yes, we all can do it, but we don't do it because we are mentally enslaved. Actually, we think we are free, but we aren't. Next. A certain negative message targeting Brahmins getting more viral on Twitter. Do you think Twitter algorithm is playing mischief to a certain narrative in India? Don't blame it on Twitter algorithm. Many of my messages also go viral. Most Jaipur dialogues messages are going viral. So with that, I think we come to the end of the show. Thank you very much. Here is the WhatsApp number that you can see, and these are the GPay, PayTM, UPI, and PayPal numbers on which you can support us. Thank you. Jai Hind. Vande Mataram.